I'm Kushal Choksi, and I'm part of the Elements Truffles, a local artisanal chocolate company.
So I interviewed you a few years ago, you and your wife, about meditation practice.
Yeah,
What is it called?
sky breath meditation.
Right. And we were at 9/11 when the first tower was hit.
Correct. Yes.
Can you tell me more about that and your experience?
I was on my way to work, just gotten out of the subway, and that's when the first plane hit the North Tower. It was such a loud noise that shook all of us, all the commuters in that, gripped them in something, a fear of unknown at that point.
Right.
And it was such a helter-skelter. I still close my eyes and I can visualize the entire thing in front of my eyes.
And how was that experience? Like, what were you thinking in that moment?
Well, I had frozen in that moment, to be frank with you. I was not sure what to do. And on one side, there was security telling all of us to stay inside the building or go back up to the desks. But part of me was saying I should just go out of the building. It didn't
Right.
appear to be very safe in that moment.
Right. And so because of that, you survived.
Yes, it was kind of a touch and go where
Right.
even it was a repeated instructions to go back in, and I just stepped out. Mixed set of feelings in my head at that time. There was gratitude. There was I was feeling lucky to have made it out, and I felt like with this new lease on life, I had to do something more meaningful with it. I had to do something, go for that American dream with
Right.
even more energy that I'd
Right.
come to here to achieve. But on the other side, there was this lack of interest, thinking, but what's the point? I'm doing this, and then what if something like this were to happen again, and I'm
Right.
probably not so lucky the next time.
Right.
So there was this conflict raging in my head at that point.
Right.
Yes, I wrote a book about it that does talk about it in the beginning of how that got me started on the path of exploring breathwork and
Right.
meditation.
Experiencing something incredibly traumatic, surviving the biggest terrorist attack in the United States,
Yeah.
led you to kind of like a spiritual journey.
It was a journey of. It started with just someone telling me you should try this, and I was like, I don't think I need it. I'm probably too cool for it.
Right.
And again, this was early 2000. Not enough people like yourselves talking about it. There are no apps, so it was
Right.
just a different time at that time, different era.
Right.
But the first time I meditated, I experienced that state of mind without thoughts. I was like, yeah, this perhaps has something that I'm looking for. I need to go a little deeper into it. And that's how it all started. So being very reluctant that way. But once I found it, that reluctance turned into more curiosity. And then I kept going towards
Right. And how did it change you?
It definitely gave me a sense of purpose that was lacking in my life. I was just about, running as fast as I could in this Wall Street, that chase that I was
Right.
in, and it gave me an opportunity to pause, to take stock of my life, and made me question the status quo, made me question that there had to be more to life than what I was after. And with that awareness, and of course there was this feeling of being more present, being more alive. There was a renewed sense of enthusiasm in everything
Right.
I was doing. But above all, it gave me tools to cultivate a sense of purpose.
And now you teach it.
I
basically.
teach it too.
Right.
I volunteer my time, pay
Right.
it forward, and I think the teaching is the best way
Right.
of learning.
Right. And has that void been filled?
Oh yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I feel. I mean, the memories are still there.
Right.
If I close my eyes, that whole 9/11 comes up like an HD movie
Right.
in front of my eyes, right? But it doesn't have that emotional charge that it used to have
Right.
at one point in time.
Right.
And definitely, there is a lot more. Or I feel I'm creating some impact in a small, insignificant way.
Right.
So there's definitely a lot more fulfillment from that point of view.
What's like a lesson to be learned, going through such a traumatic event, and as human beings we go through different traumatic events in our life and that affect us and how we see the world, and we kind of see the world in this lens of our past trauma. What advice could you give somebody to move forward from that?
Yeah, while we can't go back in time, probably we can definitely go within. I think we are in such a time where we are so exposed to all these external stimulus that's hitting us, whether it's social media, it's politics, it's what's happening around us all
Right.
the time. It constantly drags us outward, and it never gives us an opportunity to ask bigger questions. That if this pandemic was something, it was an opportunity for us to kind of, pause and go within.
Right.
So I think take that moment, take a few moments to connect with yourself, maybe 5 minutes, 10 minutes a day, learn some breath work, some meditation. And it's very effortless. I thought I could never meditate,
Right.
frankly. I
Yeah.
close my eyes, all these thoughts
Right.
come up. But this breath work is different. It
Right.
just takes your mind to a place where you cannot, but what you
Right.
experience is meditation. So there's
Right.
no effort involved.
Yeah.
So it's easier than it may
Right.
feel. So if I can do it, I guess everyone can do it.
And so your book is about this journey, basically.
My book is a brutally honest account of
Right.
my journey of after having survived, looking for something big, and then stumble upon this
Right.
path, and how I kind of dealt with this whole new experience of
Right.
meditation.
So you still meditate every single day?
I do every single
Twice
day.
a day, right?
Twice a day.
Wow.
The same practice that we used to do.
I
together.
mean, I do 10 minutes a day.
That's-
Twice a day is. That's why you're so happy. Look how happy he is. How do people find your book?
on Amazon.
Amazon? Okay, what's the
on the
title?
local bookstore. It's called On a Wing and a Prayer: Spirituality for the Reluctant, the Curious, and the Seeker.
I love that. Thank you so much.
Thank you.